Alright, welcome back to the Grand Masters League. This is round 5, set number 2 between Jordan, 23, and I am Chris. You've probably seen game 2 already if you are following on YouTube. And this is game 1, the delayed game that I said I wasn't going to do, but now because you're asking for it, I'm going to do it. But I'm going to live stream it because at least with live stream, it won't take up my entire hard drive space. And yeah, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be close to 2 hours in game time, 1 hour and 40-minute game time. So we're looking at a good 60 minutes if I don't fast forward any parts. So I'm going to actually fast forward the start of this and see where they decide to put their TCs. Nomad, of course, and Jordan in red playing as Persians. Chris in green, his trademark colour, playing as Persians as well. And for interestingly enough, they've not town centered right on top of each other. And what usually contributes to a very short Nomad game is when they place their town centers very close together. You see a lot of really early pressure, and it's just one player simply will not be able to hold on for long enough. But this game, they've basically built their town centers on the complete opposite side of the map, so it's going to be pretty it's going to be long. I know that because I've seen the length of it, but the fact that they've built their town centers so far away is definitely going to contribute to the longevity of this game. And also, a lot of the times when we see Nomad games, which has been the case already in the GML, we do see a lot of instances where all of the gold is in favour of one person. It's not so bad in this map. Jordan does have gold fairly close to his TC. He's also got a lot of stone nearby, which he can sell the first 100 or so, but also that will allow him to get castles and things as well, secure the shoreline with castles, secure the centre area with castles, or whatever he wants to do. But Chris does have a nice little advantage with the gold here again. He does have gold at the back of his TC. He does have gold down to the south of his TC as well, and even in front. Pretty much it's a ring of gold around Chris's TC. So if he can secure the land and pressure Jordan on the land, then Jordan could find himself quite gold starved. Whether or not that is the case, I don't know. I've not seen the game, so I'm only speculating what could actually happen here. As usual though, a lot of sheep around, plenty of boar as well. Jordan finding himself 3 boar right here. I don't know if he's found the one at the back just yet. No, he's not, but he might find it shortly. And starting to scout with sheep and villagers as well, getting those fishing ships out nice and early also to make sure he gets the best possible advantage into the feudal age he can. Chris with a little bit more scouting, that probably contributes to his highest score right now. And let's have a look at his other his minimap for food. Ooh, it's not looking the best. He's got deer right here on the shoreline. A mill here could be great because he has got shorefish nearby, but he doesn't actually have oh no, he does have 3 boar down here. They're quite far away, and it's a question whether he's going to find them or not, because without a scout cavalry, finding your initial resources can be a bit of a challenge. It can be a little bit tough, and if he doesn't notice these boar, then he could be in a little bit of a tough spot, and it could end up slowing his feudal age time down massively. Another thing to note as well, they've both docked on the opposite sides of the map. They've both docked in very high fish areas, and they've both docked on opposite sides, which is another thing you don't always see on Nomad. Sometimes you see docks right next to each other, and then when you get into the feudal age, you see grushing like never before, and one person is wiped from the water, and therefore it's GG. But they've actually got a chance to defend the water quite well here. They're very far apart, and we're going to see quite a lot of fishing ships coming out, I think, because of the distance between them. Also, it's going to be very hard to wall. So we are going to see some feudal pressure, perhaps, maybe castle pressure if one of them manages to pull off a fast castle with the fishing ships. It's going to be tough, but we never know. A lot can happen on Nomad. There is never one thing that happens. It's one of those maps that tends to be quite varied, and I'm quite looking forward to seeing how it turns out. But I know it's a long game, so I'm going to start speeding things up until we start to get some action. One thing is for sure, we're going to see boats, we're going to see grushing, and we are going to see some land as well. So it's going to be a mix of land and water, and it looks like Chris is starting to wall this off already. He is starting to indeed, and if he actually completes a wall off in the centre of the map, then they might just focus on grushing for a while and end up going for maybe a transport ship around. It could happen. It's certainly not out of the question, and I actually have no idea where this is going to go. It could go anyway. It could go it could be really boring for all we know, but chances are it's going to be absolutely awesome. and it's going to be long. So sit down and take a deep breath, because it's going to be quite a marathon game, I can tell you that for sure. Chris, though, up to the feudal age right now. He's about to hit feudal, and it's a decent time. The only problem is that he's quite far from Jordan, and now if their docks were close together, if he'd have docked down on the south side, he'd be really happy about this fast feudal time, because he will be able to get galleys out straight away. We're seeing a galley coming straight out right now. We're going to see another dock from him as well. There we go, another one right there. So 2 docks straight off, and if he was really close to Jordan, he'd be in a good situation, because he'd have that feudal age advantage, and he'd get the galleys out first, and he could start taking out these fishing ships. The problem is, he's on the other side of the map. So Chris is going to be quite a long way around the outside to be able to get to Jordan's ships, and by the time he's got his galleys out and he's got down there, Jordan will have galleys of his own to defend. So his advantage of reaching feudal faster in this game maybe isn't necessarily an advantage. Usually it is, but Jordan is going to find himself with a much better economy now. If we have a look at his food count, a lot higher than Chris, and he's also got pretty much more of everything right now. As yeah, he's not had to. He's gone up with more population. Basically, that is why. But Chris now, with the galleys coming out, and he's actually split his lumber up as well quite early on, and that's interesting, deciding to take lumber over here. Usually you just keep it all by your TC, but he's split it up over this side, which is something I would not expect from him. Maybe he's going to go for a 3rd dock pretty soon along that side, but he's got his galleys out. He's going to be moving across the map right now, and he's going to try and pick off some fishing ships where he can. Jordan, though, galleys already coming out, and they're going to be out by the time Chris gets there. He's going to be too slow at reaching over, and Jordan is going to have his 3rd dock up as well, which does mean he could even be outnumbering Chris on the water fairly shortly. And we'll have to see if he manages to get any fishing ships. Chris might just decide to go straight for the fishing ships and ignore the galleys. He could do it, but I heard a watchtower go up, and I'm interested to know where he actually put that. Not sure, but Chris is actually starting to make land as well. 2 archery ranges and a barracks right there. He's going to go for some archers, and he might be able to start some very early harass onto Jordan's base. That could work out really well for him. But right now on the water, Jordan going to force Chris back until Chris gets reinforcements. Then he's going to turn around, and Jordan's going to be like, ah, crap, I'm going to have to retreat. 4-2-2 on there, but he's going to have more galleys coming out very quickly. 2 more right there. And in the defender's position, he is going to have an advantage, as he can reinforce a lot sooner. More galleys will be on the way for him, and he should be able to defend his fishing ships quite nicely. I swear I heard a watchtower. There we go. A watchtower going up right there on the gold. It's going to secure the water, but also it's going to make sure his gold is nice and safe. It's quite far from the TC, and I think he's just going to play it a little bit safe, and he's right to do so, because where is it? This from here, Chris now making some archers, making 1, 2, 3 so far, a few more queued up, another 4 on the way. And he's going to try and transition straight into land and force a response from Jordan there. He's going to lose his galleys on the water here. That is certainly going to be a big impact for him, because if Jordan does manage to make it over to Chris's side and take out his fishing ships, he's going to get a huge advantage on the water. And now we see the archers coming forwards. Chris deleting a wall piece right here. Jordan not fully walled just yet. So Chris likely to get in with his archers. Is he going to make it? No! Jordan with a very nice quick wall off there, and nice, very nice. Chris going to be denied the early pressure. He's going to stone wall behind it, and he should be absolutely fine for now. Going to keep Chris out of his base, and he's going to make sure that Chris is not getting in with those archers anytime soon. So we're seeing early stone walling, and this is certainly going to be a long one. I can tell by the way it started that it's going to be long. The fact that Chris is a failed attempt on land, Jordan's already stone walling, and he's trying to force it onto a water battle, and that is a very clever thing to do. Because of course galleys cost 90 wood and 30 gold each, and now Chris has invested in a barracks and 2 archery ranges. He's not got the wood he needs to produce lots of galleys, and that's going to slow his galley production down. It's going to mean he's got less galleys out on the water. Jordan, on the other hand, he's not making any archery ranges. He's making a blacksmith now, but he's actually got 2. He could have, yeah, you can delete that one and salvage it, but he's certainly got a lot more wood, and that's certainly going to allow him to take Chris's water out, and if he can take out these galleys, he can move on to his fishing ships, and if the fishing ships go down, then Jordan's going to gain a huge advantage going into the castle age. Chris with more population though, he could have more villagers, and actually no, he's not, it's the archers that are putting his population up. He's got 7 archers down there. And he's not going to be getting into Jordan's side any soon. Jordan, a nice little harass on the gold. If he can prevent Chris from getting any gold, then he can also prevent Chris from making galleys, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to force a water conflict here, and I think he will still be making galleys of his own. Indeed he is, and he's going to be keeping those galleys coming out, I think, for quite some time. Chris building a blacksmith over here. Interesting. I love how Nomad is so like sort of messy. You've just got units everywhere and buildings everywhere, and sometimes it makes it quite hard to figure out what exactly is going on. It looks like Jordan could even be gearing up for a land attack as well. If we see an archery range out of him, we know that's going to be the case, and indeed it is. He's going to be able to keep Chris out for now, but he is also going to have the archery range there to get some extra units, and look at this, he's going to be able to start taking out Chris's fishing ships. And it's certainly going to be nice for Jordan now, because he is going to be able to start working on Chris's boats, and if he takes out his ships and he has the fishing ships himself, he's going to get a huge economic advantage. And nice, Chris attacking this wall with a few villagers here, trying to break it down and get into Jordan's base. He knows that he's probably going to lose water here. He knows that his fishing ships are being killed off. His only real option is to actually break in and take out Jordan's villagers and do some really nice economic harassment. Looks like Jordan going to be able to get this wall up for now though, building so much stone wall behind here, but he's also adding in some skirmishes as well, and that is going to help him defend against archers in this situation. Going to throw away a villager there, why not? Hey guys, I just came to build my wall, just came to repair the wall a bit, and no, not going to happen. You're going to get shot down. And interesting, Chris managed to get a couple of boats back here, and somehow he's still managing to get boats back here and trying to even the water out a little bit, but these are very low on HP, and I doubt he's going to be able to pick off any fishing ships whatsoever. It's only going to take 1 or 2 shots to take these down, and it's going to go down right now, and Chris unable to take out many boats of Jordan at all, but it's all going on over here, trying to break through, and oh, Jordan's not walled. He didn't check his walling, and I thought for a second that Chris is going to be kept out, but of course he's going to make it into Jordan's base, and that will explain why this game drags on, because at this stage of the game, if you've got the opponent locked out of your base and you've got water control, there's no reason why you should lose in an instant. And now Chris inside of Jordan's base, Jordan's starting to add in the skirmishes, and it looks like he might be able to pick off a lot of villagers and start to draw this game level. He really needs to start taking out some of Jordan's fishers though, and Jordan making sure they stay alive for the time being, because the fishing ship's going to give him a huge advantage of course. But over here the archer's going to come in, and that's a few dead villagers for you, Jordan, and that is certainly not good. And Chris just going to be bandying in here and trying to take out as many villagers as he possibly can, moving forwards with a forward archery range and barracks, and that is a forward and a half. I've never seen a forward that close to someone's TC before, and this is going to be interesting now. Chris transitioning to land, saying, you know what, I don't want to play a water game, you've won the water, I'm going to get myself onto the land and start attacking your base from there. And if he gets this archery range and barracks up over here, he could start to do some big damage to Jordan's base. Of course, he could take the watchtower out with a couple of spearmen. He can do a hell of a lot, but I'm curious to know why he built the barracks there. Maybe just to be on the safe side. Of watchtower coming forwards as well, and this is what amazes me about absolutely amazes me about Nomad. Look at this, an enemy and an enemy archery range next to each other, something you don't expect. Nice from Chris though, putting his archers at the base of the watchtower so he can't attack them, and he's got to be careful. These guys taking a little bit of damage, but he is going to be able to put them right there and start to take out that tower. Villagers coming over, he could pick them off as well. More archers coming out, but Jordan's starting to make plenty of skirmishes now, and Chris is even adding in some spearmen. He's desperate to get his army count up, but not to mention the fact he's going up to the castle age, and that is huge. He's going to go castle. He could upgrade to crossbowman straight away, and that is going to give him a very big edge on Jordan, even if Jordan's starting to make skirmishes. But if Jordan managed to get enough skirmishes out, then he could actually take this and make sure he's safe. But this is some really nice early aggression from Chris, breaking through Jordan's walls, and Jordan now safe in the knowledge that he's got the water, can start to fish boom, and that's going to make a huge difference for him. And if he forces Chris away, which it looks like he will do, these skirmishes proving to be just enough for the time being, then he's going to gain a bit of an advantage thanks to that water bonus. He's actually managed to wall him out again now as well. Chris is not getting into Jordan's base anytime soon, and the only thing he can really do is make units from these barracks and archery range. But it looks like Jordan's going to have enough units here to actually defend properly. If he can kill that villager, that's not going to be any more harassment. And if he can kill the spearman, then he's going to have no problem killing whatever comes out of this stable. Chris doing the wise thing and cancelling straight away. Jordan safe for the time being, but for how long? That is the question. He's got the water control, so really this game should be massively in favour of him, and if you look at the scores, it already is in favour of him. But Chris up to the castle age, and now he could make a siege workshop, bust through these walls and do a lot of damage very quickly. Well, let's see what he does do. He's making stables. We're going to see knights, that's for sure. But whether we see an archery range, a siege workshop or not is another story, and I'm hoping we do, because an early an early siege workshop here could do tons of damage to Jordan's base, and that would be awesome for him. He could be able to do a quick wall bust, get in there with these knights, and really do a big economic harass. Starting to upgrade crossbowmen while finishing upgrading crossbowmen. Crossbowmen now coming out. Bodkin arrow being researched as well, so he's going to have these guys upgraded with +2 attack and range just now, and that should help him out massively. But the knights are going to be where it's at, and Jordan with a lot of skirmishes here to defend against the crossbows and the archers that were inevitably coming. But with knights in the mix, the skirmishes will get cut down so quickly. A couple of knights kill off 20 or 30 skirmishes easily. They cannot stand a chance, but this is good. Chris now pushing out with some fire ships. Of course, being in the castle age does have its obvious advantages. Fire ships coming out for Chris, and he should be able to clean up Jordan's galleys pretty quickly, and if he can re-secure his water, then he can remake his fishing ships, and he might be doing that already, but I doubt it. Making more fire ships for now, and he knows that he's got to take away Jordan's fishing ships. If Jordan's allowed to fish for the whole game, he is going to be in a world of trouble, because he's just going to have such a huge economic advantage. But if he can take them out, a couple of fire ships might do the trick. If he can take out the fishing ships from Jordan, then he might just be okay, and he should be able to start to stabilise things. Jordan, though, up to the castle age himself, is almost halfway now, but knights out, crossbowmen out, and a siege workshop forwards, and it looks like Chris might be able to bust through this wall pretty quick. A ram coming out right now, and it looks like he might go for one of these wall pieces. He's going to head straight in there, and this wall piece would be quite vulnerable. You can take that out really quickly and start to raid Jordan's base with knights and crossbows, and that is a lot more formidable than a few spearmen and archers here and there. So Jordan going to go castle, but he's slightly further behind now, because Chris with a much more upgraded army with knights out as well, and that's going to help him massively. Jordan, though, he's going to reach castle very shortly, and if he can hold Chris off for long enough, then he should be able to hold on for the time being. Nice placement of a market there, going to slow Chris down from getting into his base, continuing to wall off behind it and moving the skirmishers forwards. But now, of course, he's going to see the knights, and he's going to realise, right, I'm going to have to add some knights of my own. And that's absolutely fine, because he's starting to make stables. There's 3 stables down right there, and as long as he keeps his water, which it looks like he might do, he's got plenty of galleys there. He could upgrade to war galley. He should be able to take out these fire ships, and as long as he's got the water here, he should be able to mass a lot more knights than Chris. His score still well in the lead for now. Skirmishers could counter to crossbowmen, but in comes the mangonel, so they could get flattened fairly quickly. And now we see an engagement on the water. Jordan going to have to take these fire ships out. Is he upgrading to war galley? No, he's not, and that could be a big problem. He needs to take the fire ships out and stop Chris from getting to his fishing ships. I think he might just do it. He shouldn't have too much problems here at all. With a little bit of micro, he should be able to take out the fire ships, taking a lot of damage, but of course he should just be able to hold on. 1 fire ship remains, and it should go down. So it's all about the land for the time being, and a siege workshop goes up for Jordan as well just here. Mangonel of his own, trying to flatten these crossbowmen, and of course take out the mangonel from Chris as well. Knight's going to be coming out. Bodkin arrow probably just completed right there. I just missed that. Oh, no Bodkin arrow just yet, so slight disadvantage in the skirmisher front, but the mangonel going to come out, and with the defending advantage, he can sort of start to take out these units a lot quicker. But this market could go down pretty quick. These villagers under fire, and if the market goes down, Jordan's got to be ready to handle this attack. Knights coming out. Has he got enough though? That is the question. Another tower going up to defend as well. The market, I think, about to go out. The mangonel coming out for Jordan just in time. Is he going to have enough to defend? He should be able to. He should be able to. He's got plenty more knights than Chris does have. He's got a good 7 knights right there. Chris coming forwards with 4 of his own. It looks like he's going to lose his mangonel very quickly. That was very nice by Chris, raiding that really quick, taking out the mangonel. But 3 mangonels from Chris is going to be a problem, and these skirmishes could get flattened by them. Jordan going to have to run in very quickly with his knights and take out those mangonels very quickly. The problem is though, mangonels do get outranged by watchtowers, and they are going to go down pretty quickly to the watchtowers from Jordan. So very nice defense from Jordan indeed. The mangonel is going to go down, and now Jordan with the knight advantage, moving in his skirmishes. He should be able to take out the knights from Chris, and then the skirmishers can mop up the crossbowmen from behind. Looking pretty good indeed. And Jordan gonna force Chris right back. I'm just gonna tap out, make sure the stream's okay. If the stream's not okay, let me know, guys, and I will restart it or something. But Jordan, very nicely played indeed. He's looking like he's got a big army advantage. He's got a good counter to the crossbowmen, plus a superior number of knights. He should be able to push Chris right back, and he is going to have to play very aggressive, as his gold is going to slowly run out. And once this gold is gone, he's got no other gold sources on his side of the map. Chris has walled it all out, and now Jordan's coming in with the skirmishes, looking to take the crossbows. But Chris, a nice reaction, adding in those camels once again. And well, not once again, but we saw it in the last game, adding camels to counter cavalry, of course. And camels, a great unit, but Jordan has the upgrade advantage, +2 defense and +1 attack. The camels didn't stand a chance, and it looks like Chris is about to have his base raided, and camels going to come out again. It's looking pretty on edge for Chris, but he's going to have to get more camels out if he wants to defend. There's 3 right now, and that might just be enough. Actually, no, it won't be. He's going to need at least 4 or 5 to deal with this, but he should have those pretty soon. Jordan raiding down here on the villagers at the gold piles, and that is really great for him. Taking out Chris's economy is going to give him a big advantage, and wow, very nice from Chris, starting to take out the skirmishes as well. But in come the camels, and he might just be able to force Jordan back here. If he gets a couple more out, which he is going to do, he should just be able to finish off these knights. Very low HP knight there, and he might be okay for now. But one thing to note, while all this has been going on, Chris has been expanding behind this. He's got 1, 2 and 3 town centres up already. He's got enough stone for another one, but he'll probably want to get a castle first, and that is really nice play from him. 3 town centres already up, his economy in tip-top shape indeed. In fact, to make that no, never mind, that is 1, 2, 3 town centres. So Chris on 3 TCs already, should be able to put up a decent defence here, and Jordan now pushing him back, gonna be able to start taking town centres of his own. 1, 2 and yeah, it's just 2 for him. So Chris with the TC lead at the moment, but looks like Jordan's going to try and close that up as fast as he can. He might want to TC this gold here, and that would be really useful. He could secure extra gold for himself. That would help out massively. And as I said in the last game, knights really are much better at raiding, whereas camels just good for countering knights, but they're not good at raiding at all. So Chris can't go too heavily into knights, because if Jordan does get his 3rd TC up, then he won't be able to raid very well at all. But for the time being, Chris pushing him back, and it's a nice little back and forth that these guys have got going. Jordan even adding in some camels of his own, and they do have extra upgrades, which does make them a little bit more effective. But as you can see, the town centre there are going to be able to do large damage to any army that gets too close here. So a nice push from Jordan, secured himself a 2nd town centre, and that should just about keep him safe for the time being. It's looking pretty on edge, and certainly Chris with a much better eco right now. 3 TCs, pumping out villagers, a lot of villagers already out, and he's gonna have to make up for the lack of fishing ships. That's why he's tried to work on his eco so heavily, I think, because of the lack of fishing ships. Gonna start taking this gold as well. A watchtower at the back here, which is nice from him. Really good, actually. He should be able to reach that that wood right there, and that's gonna help him out with harassing this. Jordan spots it. He's going to put a tower up of his own. He's going to get it up first as well, so it's not going to be so much of a problem at all in the long run. And he's just going to further solidify his stake on the land over here. But if he can, he'll be wanting to push out even more. But Chris now with a lot of knights, a lot of camels, and he is neck and neck with upgrades as well to what Jordan has. It looks like he's slightly outnumbered, and Chris starting to take the score lead here as well. So it's certainly starting to look up a little bit for Chris. He can start to push back slightly, but oh, out of nowhere, 1,000,000 camels from Jordan, and he is, of course, going to push Chris back. Chris can't stay too close to this TC. He's going to lose too many units if he does, and that is going to be terrible. And stream is good. Thank you very much, guys. Very useful to know. And Chris is looking pretty strong right here, but I've got to say they are fairly still neck and neck. If you look at their scores, it's flipping between the two very quickly, and Jordan, his lifeline is these fishing ships. These fishing ships are going to help him out massively. Chris not even re-attempting to take the water. He's adding in some more fire ships, which could actually clean these galleys up. They are very low on HP, so that could actually turn things around for Chris. But right now, Chris with a big economy, and he should, in theory, be able to outmass his opponent and start to push Jordan back. Of course, Jordan now gonna want to secure a third TC because he's still on the 2 for the time being, and that is gonna be detrimental to the long game. He will want to get 3 TCs up so he can get out those extra villagers and start to catch up in economy, because these fish won't last forever, and once they're gone, he will be behind, and that is something he's got to bear in mind. And oh wow, I'm a poet and I just don't know it. But he might even decide to push forward with another tower here. How much stone has he got? He's got enough for another tower. He could come forward and tower this gold. He could even save up for a TC and put it on this gold. We'll have to wait and see. But I know that both players now starting to make monks, and monks are absolutely brilliant for these kind of battles. Not only do they convert knights very easily, they also can turn the tide of a battle so quick. Look, pardon me, I keep burping, it's horrible. so quickly, and it looks like Chris has got the superior army at the moment. He's got a lot of knights there, a lot of camels. It's about half and half actually, and a few crossbowmen behind, but now adding a couple of monks, and that could really turn things around. Jordan's sort of doing the same. He's got 1 out. He might be looking to collect up relics pretty soon, but for the time being, just sort of hanging back. His third town centre going up at the back right here. He might just go for some stone in a little bit and work on getting a castle, but he's going to secure some relics for now. He should be able to do that just fine. There's a relic on the front right here. There's also a relic at the back over this side. For Chris, let's have a quick look actually. Where are the relics? There's a relic up to the north for Chris. He's also got a relic at the back here, another relic here, and that makes 3 for him, and then 2 for Jordan. So he could end up getting 3 compared to Jordan's 2. It depends who collects this one up, and Chris could easily get that one if he's very quick and careful. But it looks like Jordan will be able to get it first. We'll see if he's actually going for the relics. It doesn't look like he is at the moment, but Jordan is starting to add pikemen, and that is going to be crucial, because not only do pikemen absolutely cut down camels and knights, but they're a lot better at making better trades on conversions. If Chris manages to convert a pikeman, it's no way near as good as if he manages to convert a knight. So padding his army with pikemen gonna really help him out, and it should, in theory, give him a little bit of an advantage if these guys have a big clash head on. Especially as we saw last game, those pikemen, sorry, not even pikemen, those spearmen managed to totally clear up Abu's knights, which we saw. And pikemen, obviously the upgrades to spearmen, they are a bit stronger, and they will be upgraded a little bit more, I think, as well. But in they come, and this could be a very big battle here. Chris coming forwards with his knights and his camels, but Jordan bringing in those spearmen from behind, and Mangonel to quickly follow, and Chris, I think, going to retreat very quickly here. He's going to realise he's a bit out of his depth, but in come the monks, 2 monks from Chris, and if he gets a couple of conversions, he could re-engage right here, and that would turn things around massively. These pikemen, though, completely catching Chris off guard, and if Chris doesn't do anything to stop the pikemen, he could find himself in a lot of trouble very quickly, and it looks like Jordan took a lot of losses there actually, but still the scores so close together. And Chris now probably going to be adding some archers soon. But one thing to note is he is on the way to the Imperial Age, and not Viper, Jordan pushing out here. Is he going to make his castle? Yes, he's going to make a castle on the hill, and that's a great position. It's going to look over this gold here. It's going to allow him to add pressure into Chris, and that is going to really help him out in the long run. Jordan pushing him right back, and I don't think Chris was expecting spear pikemen for a second there. Jordan also getting into the back of his base could do some nice economic harassment here. A couple of dead villagers is going to be a nice little bonus for Jordan if he makes something of that. So really nice play by him, pushing Chris right back. But the problem is Chris is up to Imperial Age, and that is great for him. Of course, that is great for him. Let's see what upgrades he's going for. Cavaliers being researched right now. Nothing at the archery ranges just yet, which does surprise me. The blacksmith was seeing plate barding armor, which is going to give him a whopping pierce and melee armor on his knights and camels. The camels coming in to dispatch of these knights real quick here, and it looks like Chris has even secured his water, though he's not adding any more fishing ships for the time being. But the castle for Jordan goes up, and right now Chris does not have a castle. There isn't one in production, and he will not be able to make trebuchets to take this castle out in a reasonable time. But Chris about to have Cavalier any second now, 70% and counting. Is he going to be adding in pikemen? Yes, he is. He's going to add pikemen of his own, and this is going to be one hell of a game. I can tell already. 47 minutes in, an hour to go. Jesus. Jordan though with a ton of pikemen, and Chris needs to be careful. These are very low HP units right here, and Jordan starting to really push forwards as well. The battering rams coming forwards, the monks even supporting as well, should be able to heal up and start to convert, and these pikemen should really be helping Jordan out here. Chris though with Cavalier now, and he's got a lot of Cavalier right there. That is 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 33 Cavalier coming right in, and if you can make some big indent into Jordan's army, then he could do great. Jordan of course still harassing over here, and Chris's TC under a lot of pressure on this side, but Chris now with the Cavalier, he's going to engage head on with the pikemen, and that is a little bit risky, but it might just pay off. He has lost a lot of Cavalier, but he's going to push Jordan back, and it's probably worth pushing him back here in this situation. Jordan going to have to fall back, of course he's going to have to fall back, and now Chris needs to get a castle so he can get Jordan's castle down. Jordan with this castle here is going to make Chris's life a nightmare, but of course with plus 6 pierce armor, they do stand up to quite a battering from the castle. And Chris now trying to do a bit of raiding on Jordan as well, pushing him back, but it looks like Jordan's going to defend this hill. A couple of villagers get caught in the crossfire, but the castle should stand for now. Chris coming in with pikemen as well, and what a game it is so far. Just make sure the stream is alright. There we go, it's all good. An absolutely incredible play from Chris here, getting up to the Imperial Age in a really nice time, upgrading this to Cavalier real quick, and we might even see Paladin from him before long. No upgrades coming in at the stable, just the blacksmith just now, but surprisingly, Jordan walks away from that with a much higher score. I think he took out a lot more units than Chris did, and I think Jordan now going to be thinking about Imperial Age pretty soon. He's got a very big economy behind this. He's still got some fishing ships, but certainly not making such a difference now they're gathering shorefish, but a lot of farms as well. More stone on the way, so we could see another castle out of him, and another castle already on the hill. Wow, Jordan getting very aggressive. I think though maybe a castle over here would have been a little better, because he would have secured more area of the map, and it would have pressured this gold as well and perhaps secured it for him. But Jordan about to go Imperial, he just needs a little bit more gold right now, and he should be able to go up pretty shortly. And Chris, it seems like his army's been cut down. Let's have a look at his army tab. 15 cavalry and 15 infantry, that is all that remain. Jordan on the other hand, 28 infantry. He's got a lot of pikemen out, and that might just be good for him in the long run, as these pikemen of course are a good counter to Chris's cavaliers wherever they are. They're hiding, there they are, back at his base. But 2 castles now on the hill, and I do think Jordan perhaps should have put a castle here. Would have secured that relic. It would have secured the gold mine here as well. And he can't be having Chris gathering from this gold mine. He could have also put a TC on here a lot sooner as well, but it's not so crucial right now. He is going up to the Imperial Age. He might be able to bring this back at a 3rd castle. 3 castles on this little hill, and this one is going to be in range of the gold. But if we've learnt anything, it's not to put all your castles together like this, because one trebuchet can end it all if you're not into the Imperial Age yourself. But Chris is going to be Jordan is going to match Chris to the Imperial Age very shortly, and their scores still very close together. 2 siege workshops going down on the north side for Chris. He might be looking to bust through here and raid Jordan's economy. It could work. It could work. It's worth looking into and trying, and it looks like Chris is going to be going for that bust. His economy looking pretty strong as well. Jordan not able to really raid him so much. A couple of galleys on the shoreline here though. That's nice. He can pick off a couple of villagers, and he is going to manage to do so if he hangs around there much longer. And now Chris, it looks like he's going to be caught up with here. Is he making any archers though? That's the problem. He's making a lot of cavalry, but he needs archers. Pikemen dies so rapidly to arbalest and even crossbowmen, so he should really be looking to get some archers out. He's not really making much military at all at the moment, actually. Very little military. Not even producing any pikemen at all. He's just going to stick to working on his economy for the time being, but it's a bit worrying that he's not making any military. Paladin obviously not on the way. Any more upgrades? Not right now. So Chris just going to stick with what he's got for the time being. Jordan on the other hand, about to reach Imperial. He's not going to be adding in any archers. He's not making any units at the stables. He's making some more pikemen, but not a great deal. But he should be able to upgrade Cavalier straight away. And he might do that, but he might upgrade Halberdier straight away actually. Pardon me, actually, because if he upgrades to Halberdier, then these guys are going to be formidable, or what Chris is going to do. Chris is going to need arbalest, really. He really does. And Halberdier is coming straight out. Not so much going on at the blacksmith just yet, and we're not seeing Cavalier upgraded because he doesn't have any knights to upgrade. He's just going purely to trash, and that is really useful. Going for a trash army at this stage of the game does mean you're able to get those upgrades in a bit sooner. He might be going for more upgrades pretty soon. He can afford it. There's plate mail armor, so these guys are going to be very well armored up, and they should be able to cut through these Cavalier pretty rapidly. I know they've got the full armor upgrades, but still, without any archers, I think Chris is going to struggle against all of these pikemen with just cavalry, and that's a little bit problematic for him. As well as that, bear in mind, Jordan now can make trebuchets. He's got a trebuchet coming out right here. He's probably going to make some more. He might be able to take out this town centre, and he's going to have an advantage in the fact that he is actually going to have trebuchets before Chris, because there's Chris's first castle, and that is very, very delayed in comparison. A couple of scout cavalries running through. That's interesting. He's upgrading light cavalry right now, and it looks like he's going to try and raid Chris's economy with light cavalry, and that'll work out really well for him actually, because if he gets the final armor upgrade, light cavalry make an incredibly great raiding unit. They're very fast, they can do a lot of damage, and they're very versatile as well, so that's really good for him. But out comes the trebuchet as well. He's going to look out to take that town centre down, and Halberdier of course upgraded over here, fully upgraded armor, just waiting on the attack upgrade. There's blast furnace, so these guys are going to be maxed out pretty soon. But in comes Chris with siege rams. I don't think Jordan was expecting that. Siege rams out of nowhere, and you could lose a castle here if he's not careful. It doesn't look like he's got much army at all. Chris almost matching him for halberdiers here. In come the siege rams, but Jordan with 3 trebuchets out, starting to rain down heavy fire on this castle, and if Chris doesn't manage to get a trebuchet out of his own, then he's going to be very hard pressed to defend. But look at this, a big engagement, but these 3 castles for Jordan going to be raining down so much damage onto Chris's army. Chris could lose so much here. Jordan with almost fully upgraded halberdier as well, engaging Chris's equally upgraded. Now Chris has the advantage, and Jordan just about to catch up with him. But look at this, a huge engagement. It looks like he might just be able to hold on with these 3 castles, but he needs to make sure this castle does not fall, and more siege rams are coming in. It could even be the case that Jordan loses his entire halberdier army here. he's starting to lose halberdier rapidly. He's making halberdier rapidly, but how rapidly? Is it rapidly enough? I don't know. The one castle might just fall here, and that is going to be a real bad thing for Jordan, because if he doesn't defend, then he's going to lose 2 more castles as well. It looks like he's going to hold things off for the time being. More rams coming in, and he's going to have to take these out really quickly. Mass repairs coming in on the castle, and the castle looks like it might just stand to see another day. Chris's castle going down on the right hand side as well. 3 trebuchets from Jordan, 2 trebuchets from Jordan right there. Shouldn't be enough to take it out, but more rams coming in from Chris. It looks like Jordan should just be able to defend this, and that was very, very, very close. If Jordan lost these 3 castles, then Chris could have just swooped into his base with those cavaliers and done so much damage. But for today, or for now, Jordan looks like he might just hold on. This castle likely to stay up as these rams do get flattened, and that was really, really nice play by Jordan, but a great attack by Chris as well, actually managing to do significant damage there. But Jordan now trying to take out this castle from Chris. The trebuchet is going to keep firing on that, but Chris still repairing. And now, Jordan getting even cheekier, starting to take Chris's gold. He's like, oh, this area is mine. I'm gonna take this before it's too late. I'm gonna stop you getting as much gold as I possibly can. It looks like Jordan's gonna take out the castle. It depends. Oh, that was almost a dead trebuchet there, and he's coming in quickly to repair it. Looks like the castle might just go down, but Chris does have chemistry, and that's going to give his trebuchets a little bit more firepower. The castle still stands, and with 1 trebuchet remaining, it looks like Jordan might not actually take it down, which is going to be a bit of a big blow to him. But in come the light cavalry, almost fully upgraded, missing 1 armor upgrade. And Jordan is going to be doing some heavy raids on Chris. He's trying to take out the trebuchet from Chris as well, and he's going to do just that, it seems. This trebuchet going to go down, surely. Can it go down? No, it's not. So close. That trebuchet almost falls, but Chris manages to hold on to his castle, and that's going to help him out significantly. Jordan with a 4th castle here, clumping them up, just continuing to build castles. It's like, this area of the map is mine, and you're not going to do anything about it, because you cannot deal with 4 castles right now. And to be honest, I don't think Chris can deal with 4 castles right now. He's only got 1 of his own, and he's running out of trebuchets to use. Or he has only got 1 even. He's going to need more if he wants to actually take out Chris's castles. Jordan's castles even. Castle of his own again back here, so that makes him up to 2 right now. He can't afford a 3rd just yet, but if he actually pushes out and takes out the castles from Jordan, then he might be okay. And he's actually already target firing this one down here, this one already taking some damage as well, and Jordan needs to take out these trebuchets, otherwise his castles are going to go down. He's got 1,000 stone left though, so he can still repair the castles, no problem whatsoever. He's still making more trebuchets of his own, no problem at all. But looks like Chris is going to start to gain an army lead here. If you look at their population, it's 145 for Jordan, 177 for Chris. He does have a much larger army now, and certainly a very large economy as well. And this area of the map is just all to fight for. Chris though is looking pretty decent. He's managing to defend from this onslaught, and if he can just hold Jordan off, he might be okay. Jordan, though, with 4 castles here, is going to easily outnumber Chris on trebuchets, and if Chris does lose his own trebuchets and does lose his castles, then Jordan can quickly swoop in and do a lot of damage. So it could go either way. Make sure this is okay, and yep, it's all going still. Chris going to come in with the cavalier though, starting to take out those trebuchets, and that's the important thing now. If Chris suicides a few cavaliers and manages to take out a couple of trebuchets, it's totally worth it. And if Jordan, on likewise, manages to suicide a few light cavalries, pardon me, to take out a trebuchet, then again it's totally worth it. But if he cannot take out the trebuchets from Chris, then Chris might just be able to hold on and might actually take out the castles from Jordan. So we're going to see some suicide attempts here as players try and take out their opponent's trebuchets. But in comes another ram rush from Chris. He is going to be able to do some significant damage over here, and Jordan quickly going to have to move his whole army back to deal with the siege rams that suddenly are absolutely ramming down this castle. I think Jordan's made a big mistake putting these castles together here. They're all on fire and they're all losing HP rapidly. Chris just trying to take out these castles so quickly. Jordan very nearly losing them, but just holding on for the time being. Mass repairs coming in, and he's going to lose this one here. There is no doubt about it. But Jordan, so cheeky, adding another castle on the front, but this one likely to go down any second now. And Chris even adding in some war elephants. What is this? We never see war elephants. What is going on? Maybe he just misclicked, but I don't know. This trebuchet, sorry, this castle likely to go down. It's only got 400 HP remaining. Another castle down for Jordan, and this is what I was saying, you should not put all your castles together. It's too risky, and it's certainly looking a bit risky for Jordan right now. This castle only needs one more hit and it probably will go down. This castle at the back going to be re-repaired, and Jordan now starting to get in, but Chris, the perfect counter. The hand cannoneers starting to come out, and these halberdiers are going to get absolutely flattened by his hand cannons, and that is not good news for Jordan. Jordan needs some archers right now, or some heavy cavalry right now, otherwise he is not going to hold up to the hand cannoneers from Chris. Chris doing the perfect play here and bringing out the hand cannoneers at just the right time. Jordan's castle slowly starting to go down. Chris with a lot of trebuchets over here. There's 3 on this top side and 2 on the bottom. Is he adding more though? Is he adding more? Not right now, but he could take out more of these castles, and with the hand cannoneers, these halberdier absolutely useless. Chris just doing it. He's absolutely doing it. He just went hard on this game. But nice to note though, Jordan is actually starting to raid the back of Chris's economy with some light cavalry, and if he doesn't respond very quickly to that, then the light cavalry should get some significant kills. But wow, really good play from both of them, and Chris looking likely to take out these castles now. If all he has to do is defend these trebuchets with his hand cannoneers, and there's going to be very little that Jordan can do to actually stop these castles from going down. The trebuchet fire from both sides, and if Jordan does lose these castles, then Chris can easily just swoop in with his cavalry and start to take out Jordan's economy. Jordan still with some light cavalry in the back, but that's just been cleared up right now. There's one more left, and he should be able to defend that. And as I said, really nice countering from Chris. He sees what Jordan's doing, he's countering it pretty much perfectly. The halberdiers going to absolutely crumble underneath the hand cannoneer fire. 2 castles remaining for Jordan out of the 4 that he started with. Chris with 1,300 stone in the bank, he can easily add more castles in. Jordan with 1,100 stone in the bank, and it almost seems like castles are a pointless exercise, but now we see Jordan adding in some skirmishes, and he should be able to counter the hand cannoneers from Chris by doing that. He's looking to do that, but look at how many villagers here. There's a good 29 or so villagers just to repair this castle, so he's wasting stone in repairing the castle, and I think inevitably, eventually, the castle will go down. Chris should be able to take it out, and the hand cannoneer is going to be doing huge damage to the halberdiers, or the halberdier even, and now it's very stalematy, but it's also looking quite good for Chris. His score starting to get very far ahead. He's got a good counter to what Jordan is doing. And if he can push out and take out Jordan's army before Jordan gets the skirmishers out, which I will point out are going to elite skirmisher right now, then Jordan won't be able to hold on. But if Jordan gets the elite skirmishers out, he's still got time to get enough to take out the hand cannoneers, and he could turn it around completely. But so many trebuchets firing upon this castle right now. Chris has got a good 5 trebuchets firing down on this, and I don't even think that many villagers is going to be able to repair it enough. Jordan could lose the castle, which is a little bit risky. Chris population caps on 199, Jordan on 185. It's so close, and Jordan is looking still so strong. He's got a little bit of food. He can still make quite a lot of skirms. He might be adding some more in pretty soon. I'm trying to work out what he is actually making. Making more light cavalry right now. That's why his food is depleted so quickly. Light cavalry plus skirmishes, a pretty good counter to this. Apart from the halberdier, which again are a little bit of a nuisance, hence the hand cannoneers from Chris. But the light cavalry should be able to take out the hand cannoneers pretty quickly, and the skirmishers again have actually got an attack bonus against halberdier. But the castle from Jordan likely to go down right now. I think in a matter of seconds. There's another 3 hits going in, and Chris saying, "Die, castle!" Jordan is not going to let it die. There's so many villagers repairing that. He's just desperate to keep it alive. But I think he might just do it. It's starting to lose HP. There's so many trebuchets coming in, and Chris might even be adding more because he's just desperate to take this castle out. Let's have a look. No, you can't really. Well, you can afford trebuchets. You just can't make them because his population capped. And the castle goes down for Jordan. He's only got 1 left, and Chris is looking pretty strong at the moment. He's very defensive, but it's working. He just needs to move forwards a little bit more, continue to take out the rest of the castles from Jordan. Jordan, of course, though, has still got... Oh, wow. Jordan has spent so much stone in repairing those castles, he can't afford to make another one behind it. And that is certainly going to be a problem for him, because if this castle goes down, it probably will be his last. And it looks like it will go down, as we've already seen Chris take out 1. Chris not going to give on to too much yet. He might wait until the castles are down before he decides to engage. But he's got good counters to what Jordan is doing. He's got halberdier to take out the light cavalry. He's got hand cannoneer to take out the halberdier, and he's got a few cavalier left. He might be able to make a few more a little bit later on. But he's already researched hussar, which is something Jordan doesn't have. And hussars coming out could be a huge deal if they take out the skirmishes from Jordan. But if we have a look at their bank, there's 1.5k gold in the bank for Chris. Jordan alone on 200. It's certainly looking like he's running out of gold, and all of this army here, it's a trash army. It's halberdier, light cavalry and skirmishes. It's the biggest trash army you can possibly make, and Persian's fairly decent for their trash, actually. They do have good trash, but I think the addition of hand cannoneers and the fact that Chris has got so much gold left is going to really help him out right here. He's still saving his gold a little bit, making hussars and skirmishes, but he's got the gold to invest a little bit later on. So if he can take out this army from Jordan, then he can easily add gold units in a little bit later and take advantage of that. Moving forward with trebuchets now, looking to take out the final castle from Jordan. I'm going to speed things up a bit because there's still a good 30 in-game minutes of this game left. Can you believe it? Jordan is not going to give up anytime soon. Chris just gonna take out this castle, I think, right now, even moving in with a siege ram. And Chris has just upgraded Jordan's just upgraded hussar, and that's gonna be huge for him. Hussar's very, very important to upgrade if you want to raid your opponent's economy. But the last castle falls from Jordan there, and Jordan now population capped. Chris falling on 178, and now the tides have been turned yet again. Jordan lost his castles, but an immediate counter attack puts him in the lead with army count. Can he continue that momentum on through, though? Chris has tons of buildings, and he can easily make so many more units. Let's see if he's doing that. He's, yeah, lots of hussars being queued up, lots of halberdiers being queued up, archery ranges, skirmishes coming out. I think he still would be better with hand cannoneer, to be honest, but he is going to keep building these units, and I think it's just going to be a case of who runs out of gold and wood, food and wood first. Jordan is looking pretty low on food, but quite high on wood. Chris is looking a little bit lower on wood and high on food, but he's got so much gold as well, and that's a huge difference. That's a huge, huge difference. Chris, though, is population capped again. Jordan still population capped as well, and it's just going to be an all-out trash war in the centre here until one of them ends up losing. It's as simple as that. I'm going to speed things up so we can see how this goes. It's certainly looking like it's a very, very close match, but Jordan, after losing those castles, has got no defence. Chris, though, hand cannoneers coming in, they're going to flatten his halberdier, as I've said before, and skirmishes as well. Oh, elephants coming in. Is he actually going to add more elephants? If he adds more elephants, this could be great, but he's not going to do it. I don't know why. He's got so much gold. He could easily add elephants. He could easily add more hand cannoneer as well, which he's not doing. He could easily upgrade to paladin, which he's not doing. He's saving his gold, and I think that's quite a clever thing to do. Gonna save that up, and in come the elephants right now. These guys, 270 HP, 90 in attack. They are by no means a weak unit, and they should be able to clear up tons of these skirmishes if they get right involved there. And I want to see Chris make more elephants, but he's not going to do it, I don't think. It's a bit too risky for him. More hussars coming out. Chris onto 190 pop, Jordan on 190 as well, and they're both streaming units at each other. I think now it's just going to be a matter of time until one of them ends up winning. Of course, Chris has a slight advantage with having these war elephants in there. They're tanking so much damage. The Rams getting involved as well, taking the arrow fire from the skirmishes and allowing Chris's skirmishes to do more damage. Another battalion, I suppose you could say, of halberdier coming in, and it's looking pretty on edge. It's looking pretty even for both of them. And is this another castle? No, Jordan's not going to make any more castles now. But Chris with so much gold, I'm wondering what he's spending it on. I can't see what he's spending it on right now. He's not actually making any gold units, so what is he spending his gold on? I don't know. I'm not sure at all, but it is a huge trash war in the centre here. This mound is going to have so many dead bodies on it by the time they've finished. It's almost like watching CBA. Don't want to insult anyone by saying that, but it almost is. And this gold's still not taken fully. It's still up for grabs, and Chris might secure it, but it's so close in the centre still. At this stage in the game, 1 hour and 20 minutes in, Jordan is only 1,300 points behind, which is nothing. Chris though, really good economy still. It's looking good, but the wood on this map is starting to run out. They're running out of wood, and that is a huge problem. Without wood, what are they going to do? These are the only 2 wood patches left, I think. Apart from this one here for Jordan, but without wood, it's a huge problem. And oh, is Chris making cannon galleons? No, he's not. I thought for a second Chris was making cannon galleons, which would be really interesting, but no, he's making a couple of fire ships. He might actually go into that. That could be really cool. But Chris, gonna hold on the middle for the time being. Jordan has got a slight hill advantage here, it's worth noting. He actually is standing on a hill, so all of his skirmishes have got an attack advantage. But Chris moving forwards with the trebuchet, taking out that town centre, and Jordan continuing to stream units into battle. Chris moving out with the fire ships. I'm interested to see what he's doing with this water here. I'm curious to know what his plan is. He's trying to work out what's going on. Is he going to do anything with these docks? That's the question. But still a huge battle in the centre. This is going to be going on for quite some time, I think. And the scores are even closing in. Jordan catching up with Chris in the score. The hand cannoneers behind, though, going to provide so much extra firepower for Chris. Keeping an eye on these docks. Keeping an eye on the docks. He's got to be doing something with the docks. He's got to. That could totally turn things around. But for the time being, again, holding on the land, putting the Rams in there, absorbing that elite skirmisher fire, and he's even just taken a relic. I'm not sure where that relic was taken, but he did take a relic there. That's going to give him a little bit more gold, and he's spending this gold somehow, but he's not making any gold units, so I'm wondering where this gold is being spent. He's not making any more gold units whatsoever, and he's still not doing anything with these docks. Nothing yet, but we could see something out of them pretty shortly. Still a huge trash war in the centre. Still both of them up supply. And it's going to be a long battle for the middle. And this is what games end up becoming if you don't end it quickly. This is what they do, what does happen. Of course, Jordan with the advantage of the hill, as I've said, he can hold Chris off for quite some time. What is Chris doing with these docks though? He's got to be doing something with the docks. He wouldn't have put those docks there otherwise, and I really want to see something with that. I'm going to keep an eye on that shortly. But still holding on in the centre. Looks like Jordan might even be pushing him back here. So many skirmishes. It looks like Jordan's pushing him back, and then Chris ends up pushing Jordan back. But Chris certainly depleting on numbers here, falling down to 180 pop. Jordan on population cap still. And Chris now running out of wood, and that is a big problem. This is his only wood here and here, and if he runs out of wood anymore, then well, he's got nowhere to gather wood on the map apart from this side, which is secured by Jordan and this watchtower. And now that's a big issue. He can't make trash if he's not got any wood. The only thing he can make is hussars. And if Jordan can keep making this halberdier, then he can actually counter that. Jordan, though, with plenty of wood at the moment, he's still got a little bit of food left. And that might just hold him on for the time being. It's going to be so close either way, but Chris still in the score lead. Jordan catching him up. He's almost at supply. He is at supply. Chris starting to fall. 179 remain for him. And what's going on over here? Still, I want to see him get some cannon galleons or something. That would be so cool. Chris though, falling back a little bit. He's losing a lot of units here, and he's still fighting uphill. But if he can take the hill, then he might just be okay. But oh, a nice attack from Jordan on the left side here. Chris gonna have to throw a castle up real quick. But it looks like Jordan just busted through his walls, and now Jordan has got hussars into Chris's base. Chris with a couple of castles to defend his economy, but he's really low on wood, and that is a little bit awkward for him. The castle gonna go up, should secure him a little bit. And war elephants! We're seeing war elephants from him. Finally, some war elephants actually being created. He's got so much wood and so much gold and food. And war elephants, they're quite expensive, but they might just be worth it. A few war elephants in the back here are gonna absolutely crush things. This elite skirmisher got no chance. These elite skirmishers, they've got no chance. If the war elephants come in from Chris, is he gonna do it? Yes, he's starting to make a lot of war elephants here, and this is so exciting because you never see war elephants used in games like this at all. Chris could actually end up holding on. This gold advantage that he's got might actually just hold things for the time being. Jordan starting to take the score lead as well. More raiding to the back of his economy. The hussars at the back here gonna kill some villagers off, but the war elephants are coming out from Chris. He's getting serious now. He's got his serious face on, but Jordan with a monk there managing to convert one. He's got to be careful because 3 war elephants isn't enough. But again, Chris now taking the score lead. He's starting to push Jordan back. Still nothing with these stocks for the time being, but he is still pushing him, and he's starting to get a little bit more wood now. Building another wood camp right there. The war elephants not coming out anymore. He's made a few. That might be enough. 4 is not enough. You need to go 5 war elephants, but that's still not enough. You need 10 war elephants at least, and then you can win the game easy. Pro tip. But Jordan, on the other hand, is starting to lose population now. Slowly but surely starting to lose population, but wood is becoming a real issue on this map. For Jordan it's food, but for Chris it's wood. He's really low, and food as well actually. He's running low on food because he's not been able to reseed his farms. It's still so close, and Jordan, it's hard to say, is he pushing him back or not? I just cannot call it just yet, but I'm interested to see if Chris could put these elephants to good use. You can see already the reason why they're not used that much, because they do get converted so quickly. That monk with 2 conversions already. And the war elephants from Jordan starting to come in. Is the stream still going? Yes it is. That's lucky. And it's